What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me right here in Wrasslin City. This is your WWE Monday Night Raw review for November 10th, 2025. As always, I am your host. I'm Taylor, and tonight's episode of Raw, they loaded this show up. Um Now I will say for the most part, tonight's show, I enjoyed myself watching it. Thank you guys to all of you who decided to join me for the Monday Night Raw watch along that we did as well tonight. I had fun. I enjoyed myself watching the show. I wish I could say the same thing about SmackDown, but I just can't because that show is terrible, god awful. But at least we got Monday Night Raw to look forward to every week. Yeah, so I guess I'll just get into what all happened on this show. I won't go over everything probably, but I'll go over the major stuff. And the major thing that we got on tonight's show is John Cena. This was John Cena's final Raw. They were in Boston, Massachusetts, his hometown. So this was his final appearance in Boston, Massachusetts. He is now only down to 3 appearances left. We will see him next Monday Night Raw in New York in the Madison Square Garden. After that, we will see him at Survivor Series WarGames. Not sure what he will be doing on that show just yet. And then we'll see him December 13th for his last match ever. So we had Triple H. He kicked off the show tonight, which we haven't seen in quite some time. He kind of just talked about John Cena and what John Cena has done for the business, calling him the GOAT, saying that nobody has his charisma, nobody can touch him on the mic, in the ring, all that stuff. So we got John Cena out, and he just talked about what it meant to be in his hometown of Boston, Massachusetts one final time. And he did mention, so we know his last match is going to be taking place on December 13th at Saturday night's main event. And then he also mentioned that also that night we will be getting some exhibition matches between guys and I guess girls from the main roster. So we'll have talent from the main roster taking on talent from the NXT roster. He says that he wants that show to be about the future because that's kind of what he's been doing here lately, is trying to pay it forward to the guys next in line. So we will see that. I'm looking forward to that. I wonder what matches they will throw on that card. Just to name a few, I would like to see Io Sky versus somebody from NXT. We could very well see Javon Evans in NXT go against somebody from the main roster. So that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. So there was a report all morning, all afternoon before this show tonight that we were going to be getting John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship tonight. And when it was first reported, they were saying that that was going to be tonight's main event. That wasn't the case. It wasn't the main event. We still got the match, but it just wasn't the main event. So John Cena's out there talking to the crowd, whatnot, and then Dominik Mysterio interrupts him. Now, I went onto social media when I saw that report, and look, John Cena, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. If you know me, you know that John Cena is my favorite wrestler of all time. But when it comes to John Cena in the Intercontinental Championship, to me, it didn't really do anything for me. Only because we've already had John Cena win the 17th world title, the never seen 17. We've already seen him do that this year. So I just felt like at this point in John Cena's career, I just felt like the Intercontinental title was beneath him. And if he did not win the Intercontinental Championship, if he never did become a Grand Slam champion, nobody, and I mean nobody, was going to look at John Cena any other way. He was still going to be the greatest of all time, regardless if he won the Intercontinental Championship, became Grand Slam champion or not. I mean that's how I felt. There was obviously a lot of people online that wanted to see this happen. Now, don't get me wrong, I was still excited to see him win the Intercontinental Championship because it's something that we've never seen before. But you know, he's retiring next month, so he's only going to have the title for about a month and 3 days. So, and then when I look at it, so now that he's the Intercontinental Champion because he beat Dom Mysterio, he's going to be he's more than likely going to be defending that title in his last match. And the way I look at it now, who I think will be his last opponent is going to be Gunther. That's about the only. That's who I think it's going to be. That's who I think it should be. And I mean, they could throw somebody in there like a. Now, if you could do Gunther and then he wins the Intercontinental Championship, that's nice and all. But same with John Cena, the Intercontinental Championship is beneath Gunther at this point in his career. Gunther should be in the main event scene and only the main event scene. Gunther has already held the Intercontinental Championship for a record 666 days. I feel like him going back to the Intercontinental Championship it'd be a backwards move for him in his career. So you could throw somebody else in there. I see a lot of people on social media saying that they'd like to see Sheamus be John Cena's final opponent. I'd like to see that too, since the Intercontinental Championship is more than likely going to be on the line, and you can tell a fantastic story there. Sheamus, who has also never won the Intercontinental Championship, he wants to win the Intercontinental Championship. So imagine he's going up against John Cena, who they have history. They went back and forth numerous times back in like the early 2010s for the WWE Championship. So they have a ton of history. And you could play that into this where Sheamus, he wants that Intercontinental Championship. So now is the time to go against John Cena one last time to potentially win the Intercontinental Championship. So that's where I see this going. So I do think it will be Gunther versus John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship at Saturday night's main event. Speaking of Gunther, he will be in this tournament. They announced that tonight. He will be going one-on-one against Javon Evans. And I said this past Friday on SmackDown, where the matches that we've gotten so far in this tournament do not excite me one bit. We had two of those matches that took place tonight. We had Damian Priest versus Rusev. That match was, I would think they could have done a little bit more in that match, but Rusev did advance. And then we had Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought that match was better than the Rusev and Damian Priest match. And plus, it's Sheamus. Sheamus is never going to have a bad match. You could throw him in there with a damn broomstick, and he'll put on a banger. I mean, that's just what Sheamus does, and that's just how good Sheamus is. So that was a good match. Sheamus also advances. I really wish we could get a bracket for this tournament because we don't know who Rusev is facing next, we don't know who Sheamus is facing next. If I had to guess, they will be taking on the winners of either Javon Evans and Gunther. And then we also had announced tonight that it will be Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent on Raw next week as well. And then obviously this SmackDown, you'll have more matches. You've got Jey Uso versus The Miz. Don't care to see that match. That's probably going to be the worst match in this entire tournament. I mean, I don't know who put that match together, but probably Michael Hayes. He has some weird fetish for Jey Uso. But I don't even know what the other match is, honestly. What is the other match take? Oh, LA Knight versus a mystery opponent, right? Yeah. He's facing probably Joe Hendry. So other than that, so we had three title matches tonight. We had the Intercontinental Championship. We had the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match. Stephanie Vaquer defeated Raquel Rodriguez. It was a fine match. Raquel Rodriguez has improved a lot this year. If it were up to me, I would give Raquel Rodriguez the Most Improved Wrestler of the Year award at the Slammies. I'm sure they'll do the Slammies next year. I think she should win that award. But I mean, the match was okay. There were a few moments where it felt a little slow, and some of the moves that they were doing weren't very impactful. I noticed that throughout the match. Raquel, I mean, Stephanie did the Devil's Kisses on Raquel, wasn't very impactful. I mean, Raquel is she's a big lady, so I can only imagine how difficult it is for Stephanie to hit a move like that on somebody the size of Raquel. I mean, she's so tall and big, so I could see why it'd be kind of difficult to do that. But uh, Stephanie hasn't looked very sharp in the ring these last few weeks. She had that match with Roxanne like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't very good. Now that was their first time in the ring together at that point, so maybe that had something to do with it. And I think this was the first time we had Raquel versus Stephanie one on one as well, so that may have something to do with it. But we'll see. So like I said, Stephanie retained, and then afterwards, I mean, we all saw this coming from a mile away. So Nikki Bella grabbed the woman's title and smacked Stephanie across the face with it and turned heel. Is anybody excited? Because I'm not. Nikki Bella just doesn't do anything for me. I've said this before. She just feels. Nikki Bella just feels so out of place in this era of women's wrestling. I mean, she doesn't fit in at all. And I get that she's only out there for a nostalgia pop. I mean, that's about it. So, man, my goodness. But so we also had another title match. It was the women's tag team champions. They took on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Excuse me, my goodness, I'm having a hard time talking tonight. Slow down. Alexa and Charlotte, they took on the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. It was a fine match. It was an okay match, I guess. I guess we'll just talk about what happened afterwards. So we have new women's tag team champions. Towards the end of this match, so Charlotte went to go put the figure four on Asuka. Kairi Sane tried to go to the top rope to hit the insane elbow, but then Alexa Bliss caught her, hit her with a Sister Abigail DDT, and then at that point Alexa bridged up for the figure eight, but then out comes Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Nia Jax pulled Charlotte's arms down to break the hold. The ref didn't see it because she was trying to get Alexa and Kairi Sane out of the ring, so she missed this. Excuse me, she missed this. So then Charlotte's watching all this go on outside because Alexa would then try to go after Nia Jax and Lash Legend, but then Kairi Sane got a hold of Alexa, threw her into the announce table. This caused a distraction on Charlotte Flair. Um, Asuka would then chop Charlotte's leg, got her down on the mat, tagged in Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane hit the insane elbow for the 1-2-3. We've got new women's tag team champions. Following the match, they would all four of these ladies, the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, would start beating up on Charlotte and Alexa. And then Io Sky returned tonight, which was nice to see. She came out, tried to help them out. Um, Kind of got a hold of the Kabuki Warriors for a little bit, but then Lash Legend caught her with a huge clothesline. And then out comes Rhea Ripley, who is also back. She was wearing a face mask because if you didn't know, she suffered a broken nose while they were doing a tour overseas. I think they were in Japan is when this happened. She suffered a broken nose, so that's why we haven't seen her. She went out there, even the odds. The babyface were able to get the upper hand. Rhea Ripley grabs the microphone and then just yells, "War Games." I'm not sure if this company has a short-term memory loss or something, but do they not remember how awful Nia Jax was in last year's War Games? I mean, do you guys remember? First of all, Nia Jax spent 40 minutes in the War Games match last year. And do y'all remember those chair shots she did? I mean, she had the chair and then she was swinging it like slow motion. Taking the chair slow motion. It's like she was scared to hit them. Hit them. Hit them with the chair in the back. I I'm not a fan of this woman's War Games situation going on here. I'm just not. I mean, you look at the names on the. I mean, Nia Jax. I've already said. I don't know why she's in another War Games match after what we saw from her last year. And then Lash Legend. I haven't seen much of Lash Legend, so until I see something from her, I don't know what to tell you. So, speaking of War Games, we've got some progression going on over on the men's side of War Games. So CM Punk is cutting a promo. He wants Logan Paul. Logan Paul comes out, and then Paul Heyman and the Bronze show up right next to him. They then walk down the ring. CM Punk wants to fight all of them. They're surrounding the ring, and then Jey Uso comes out there. They got so they got all the heels on the apron staring these baby faces down in the ring, and then Cody Rhodes music hit, and he's out there to back up CM Punk and Jey Uso. They brawl. Baby faces obviously get the upper hand here, and then we go backstage. They're just walking backstage, and then they run into Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce says, "Really? So is this a team now or whatever?" And CM Punk's like, "Yeah, it's a team." And then he says, "Regal." And then the camera pans over, and William Regal, excuse me, steps into the frame and just says, "War Games." I'm not even going to try to say it like he does because I just know I'm going to make a fool out of myself. But he says War Games. So it's official. It will be CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. And if I had to guess, so we're still going to get two more people because it's usually 5-on-5. So it'll be CM Punk, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and I think we will get Roman Reigns returning next week since it is in Madison Square Garden. So you know that they're going to have Roman Reigns return in Madison Square Garden. And then my fifth one would probably be, it's either going to be Jey Uso or LA Knight. Not Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso or LA Knight. If I had to guess, it's going to be LA Knight. It could be Jimmy Uso because they're probably going to want to continue more of this tension between the Usos and Roman Reigns inside War Games. They could also do that with just Roman and Jay in there as well. So those are the two names that I've got. I saw where people thought that John Cena was going to join War Games. I don't think that's the case now. It very well could be, but I don't know. It's either going to be it's obviously going to be Roman Reigns, and then that final spot it's either going to be LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, or it could very well be John Cena. Hopefully we get all five for both heel and babyface team decided by next week because we're only 3 weeks away from War Games, and I would like for them to have at least. If you're only going to have a week or so to have all guys on one show before the actual show. So, and that's the thing. That's the problem that I have with this. I feel like we should already have both teams set by now. So these next 2 weeks, you can build up 2 War Games. You can have them. You can have a series of matches between the 5 guys throughout the show, or you could have segments, where it leads into a brawl, something to get us more excited, where it feels like it should be inside War Games. We need that tension. We need that hatred for each team towards one another. That's what we need for this War Games. And we're only going to have like a week to build anything. For the heel side, for the Vision, we're probably going to see Brock Lesnar. For the 5th guy, I still think it's going to be Austin Theory. I just don't know who else they would add in there. I already know that the social media is going to, man, they're going to have a come apart when it's going to be, you're going to have Logan Paul and Brock Lesnar on one night, on one team. Social media is going to be so fun during that. Man, my goodness. It's going to be chaos. But I mean, other than that, that's pretty much it. That's those are the big things from Monday Night Raw tonight. Like I said, it was a solid show. A lot better than SmackDown. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of tonight's episode of Raw. Who do you think will be the final members of the men's War Games, women's War Games? For the women's War Games, I do think it will be Becky Lynch and AJ Lee filling out the 5th and final spots for those 2 teams. So, but yeah, that's about it. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button. Leave a comment what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. Anything from Raw. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of the show. And yeah, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Come help us make Wrasslin City the greatest city in the world for all of your wrestling content. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. I would love to hit that goal before Thanksgiving. So by the time I get to Thanksgiving, I can be thankful for 500 subscribers. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care and God bless. Peace.